Welcome to today's meditation. Find a comfortable position and let your eyes close when you're ready. Before we begin, a brief reflection on today's theme. Balance isn't standing perfectly still, it's the constant wobble, the tiny adjustments you make without thinking. Leaning left, then right, correcting, overcorrecting, finding center again. We treat balance like a destination, something to achieve and hold. But watch anyone standing on one foot. Balance is movement. It's alive. You don't balance your life by getting everything exactly right. You balance it by noticing when you've drifted too far in one direction and gently shifting back. Today, we stop trying to hold still. We practice the wobble instead. Let your body settle wherever it is right now. Feel the weight of yourself against whatever is supporting you. Chair, floor, cushion. Something is holding you up. Notice your breath without changing it. Just the rhythm that's already there. In, out. Even your breathing is a kind of balance, a constant exchange. Taking in, letting go. You never hold your breath forever. You never exhale forever. It swings back and forth, naturally, without you having to manage it. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. Not because tension is bad, just because you're probably carrying more than you need to right now. Feel your weight settling downward. Gravity is doing its job. It always is. You don't have to hold yourself up. You just have to stop fighting what's already supporting you. We have a strange idea about balance. We picture a scale with two sides perfectly level, everything equal, everything measured. Work and rest in exact proportions, giving and receiving in perfect amounts. Time for others and time for yourself, split down the middle. But that's not how balance works. Not in nature, not in your body, not in life. Think about walking. Walking is controlled falling. You lean forward, lose your balance, catch yourself with the next step. Over and over. Fall, catch, fall, catch. If you tried to walk while staying perfectly balanced, you'd just stand there, frozen. You have to be willing to fall a little to move forward. So, what if balance in your life works the same way? Not this static arrangement where everything is perfectly distributed, but a dynamic process, a constant series of small corrections. You work too much for a while, then you notice, then you rest. You give too much for a while, then you notice, then you pull back. You neglect something important, then you notice, then you return to it. The noticing is the balance, not the perfection. Here's what most people get wrong. They think being out of balance means they've failed. You stayed too late at work again. You skipped exercise for the third day in a row. You haven't called your friend back in weeks. And then guilt shows up. That familiar voice. You should be better at this by now. But being out of balance isn't failure. It's information. It's your life telling you something needs attention. The problem isn't drifting. Everyone drifts. The problem is not noticing. Right now, without thinking too hard about it, can you sense where you've drifted? Not as a judgment, not as a problem to solve, just as honest observation. What has gotten too much of you lately? What hasn't gotten enough? You probably already know the answer. Most people do. The knowing isn't the hard part. The hard part is admitting it, because admitting it means something has to change. And change takes energy you're not sure you have. But here's the thing about balance. The correction doesn't have to be dramatic. You don't have to overhaul your entire schedule. You don't have to quit your job or restructure your relationships. Sometimes the shift is tiny. 10 minutes of quiet before the day starts. One meal eaten slowly. A walk around the block instead of another episode. Small wobbles, small corrections. That's all balance asks. There's something else we get wrong about balance. We think it means giving equal energy to everything. But some things need more of you right now, and some things need less. A new baby needs more than your gym routine. A sick parent needs more than your side project. A crisis at work needs more than your evening plans. That's not imbalance. That's responsiveness. The problem comes when the crisis ends and you don't shift back. When the baby grows and you still haven't returned to yourself. When you keep giving emergency level energy to things that stopped being emergencies months ago. That's where the wobble matters. Not preventing the tilt, but recognizing when it's time to tilt back. Notice your body again for a moment. Are you leaning to one side right now? Slightly tilted. Most people sit crooked without realizing it. One shoulder higher than the other. More weight on one hip. You can adjust if you want, or not. The point isn't perfect posture. The point is noticing. There's a reason we use the word balance for both physical and emotional states. They work the same way. Physical balance requires constant micro adjustments. Your ankles, your core, your inner ear, all working together all the time, making hundreds of tiny corrections per minute. You don't feel it because it's happening below conscious awareness. Emotional balance is the same. You're always adjusting, always compensating, always shifting weight from one part of your life to another. The difference is, with emotional balance, you try to do it consciously. You try to control it. And that's where it falls apart. What if you trusted yourself the way you trust your ankles? Your ankles don't plan how to keep you upright. They don't make spreadsheets or set reminders. They just respond to what's happening moment by moment. Lean left, correct. Lean right, correct. No drama, no guilt, just constant, quiet adjustment. Maybe balance isn't something you need to figure out. Maybe it's something you need to stop overthinking. Your body already knows how to balance. Your life might too if you let it. Not perfectly, not permanently, but well enough. Think about a day when everything felt right. You probably didn't plan it, didn't schedule balance into your calendar. It just happened. You moved through the day, and each thing got what it needed. Not because you were disciplined, because you were paying attention. That's the secret, really. Balance isn't about rules or ratios. It's about attention. Noticing when you're hungry, noticing when you're tired, noticing when you've been staring at a screen too long, noticing when you need people, noticing when you need to be alone. Your body sends these signals all day long. Most of the time, you override them. One more email, one more task, one more hour before you stop. And then you wonder why you feel off balance. What if the signals are the balance? What if all you have to do is listen? There's a kind of arrogance in thinking you can manage balance, like you're the project manager of your own existence, moving resources around on a spreadsheet, allocating hours, optimizing outcomes. But you're not a machine, you're an animal. Animals don't optimize, they respond. A dog doesn't schedule its nap, it lies down when it's tired. A bird doesn't plan when to sing, it sings when the impulse arrives. Somewhere along the way, we decided that managing life was better than living it. That planning balance was the same as having it. It's not. The seasons don't balance evenly. Summer isn't the same length as winter. The tides don't balance evenly. High tide and low tide aren't perfectly symmetrical. Your heartbeat isn't perfectly regular either. It speeds up, slows down, responds to what you need in each moment. Balance in nature is messy, imprecise, alive. Why would your life be any different? Let's sit with that for a moment. Your breath still moving, your body still adjusting. Hundreds of processes happening right now that you'll never be aware of. Temperature regulation, blood pressure, hormone levels, digestion, all of it balancing itself without your input, without your worry. You are sitting inside a body that is an expert at balance. And yet you think your life is the one thing that can't figure it out without your constant interference. What would happen if you loosened your grip? Not abandoned responsibility, not stopped caring. Just stop trying to control every ratio and measurement. Stopped keeping score. I exercised 3 times this week. I called my mother twice. I meditated for 20 minutes. I read for 30. What if you stopped counting and started feeling? Does my body need to move today? Do I miss my mother? Am I restless or am I tired? Those questions lead to balance more honestly than any schedule ever will. There's one more thing worth saying about balance. It changes. What balanced looks like at 20 is different from 30. What balanced looks like with no kids is different from 3 kids. What balanced looks like when you're healthy is different from when you're not. The mistake is thinking you found balance once and now you just have to maintain it. Like a recipe you nailed and can repeat forever. But the ingredients keep changing. Your energy changes. Your priorities change. Your body changes. The people around you change. So the balance has to change too. That thing that kept you grounded 5 years ago might not work anymore. The routine that saved you last winter might feel suffocating this spring. And that's okay. That's not balance failing. That's balance doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Adapting, shifting, responding to who you are now, not who you were. So be gentle with yourself when the old formulas stop working. It doesn't mean you're broken. It means you've changed. And your balance is trying to catch up. Let it. So here's what you might take from this. Stop trying to arrange your life into perfect halves. Stop measuring whether you've given enough time to this or that. Instead, practice the wobble. Check in with yourself. Not once a month when things fall apart, but regularly, casually, like glancing at a mirror. Where am I leaning? What needs a small correction? Not a renovation, a nudge. That's balance, not a state, a practice. Not something you achieve once and hold. Something you do again and again, imperfectly, for the rest of your life. Begin to let the sounds around you come back. Whatever is in your environment right now. Traffic, birds, the hum of a room. Let it all be there. feel the temperature of the air on your skin, cool or warm, moving or still. Feel the weight of your hands wherever they're resting. There's no rush to move. When you're ready, let your eyes open if they've been closed. Take one more breath and carry this with you. Not the pressure to balance everything perfectly, but the permission to wobble, to drift, notice, and gently shift back. Not just in meditation, but in everything. You're already balancing. You always have been. Just stop trying to hold so still. Thank you for practicing with me today. See you next time, because meditation should be free.